So good afternoon, Mr. Irfan. I'm Teresa Pramudiatmaja. So today I want to present you my presentation of proposal writing final task about mental illness as portrayed on Cassiehoward in Euphoria season 1 and 2, directed by Augustine Frizzell. First of all, I wanna tell you about the Euphoria season 1 and 2 overview. So, Euphoria is an HBO series about a group of high school students in East Highland, California, who deal with love, loss, addiction, and sex. The show is an American adaptation of an Israeli series of the same name. And I think the American series is the best version than the Israeli series because I think the main character of this series of the American Maid is Zendaya, that the self center of the series. First, introduction, a psychoanalytic exploration of trauma, the Electra complex, and societal stigma. Mental health stigma, particularly among Gen Z and millennials, often leads to the misinterpretation and dismissal of complex struggles like Cassie's. Casey unresolved childhood trauma manifests in her emotional instability, substance abuse, and destructive relationships with men. Freud's Electra complex provides a lens for understanding Casey's unconscious desire for paternal affection and her subsequent search for validation in romantic relationship. So I choose the Electra complex from Freudian analysis or psychoanalysis because to provide a lens for understanding Casey's behavior for being sick malvalidation in romantic relationships that become a toxic one for her. And societal expectations and judgments further complicate Casey's journey, hindering her ability to her mental health needs. The study analyzed how these factors intertwine to shape Casey's behavior and contribute to her emotional and mental decline, offering a deeper understanding of the character and the broader issues she represents. So I want to go deeper to analyze her motivation or something happened behind her destructive behavior and something that affect her for being seeking male validation in the romantic relationships. By analyzing her experience through a psychoanalytic lens, particularly focusing on the impact of potential childhood trauma and Freud's theory of the unconscious, this inquiry aims to uncover the psychological motivations behind her destructive relationships and emotional breakdowns. It also seeks to expose the ways in which societal stigma hinders understanding and help seeking, ultimately contributing to a more nuanced and empathetic understanding of mental health in the context of adolescence and young adulthood. However, this analysis is limited because it's exclusive focus on Cassie Howard and its reliance on Freudian psychoanalysis. Despite this limitation, this exploration seeks to spark a deeper conversation. How can we foster a society that recognizes, understands, and supports young people struggling with mental health challenges, ensuring they receive the compassion and care they deserve? The second is the theoretical background, theoretical framework, understanding Casey Howard through the Electra complex. Freud's psychoanalytic theory um, talk about Cassie's behavior is analyzed through the lens of the Electra complex, focusing on her unconscious desires and the impact of childhood experience on her adult life. because Cassie's have been experienced childhood trauma from her father absence, or even making her to be in the toxic relationship in her adult life. The Electra complex. Cassie's unresolved attachment to her absent father leads her to seek validation and affection from other men, often resulting in unhealthy relationship. So like she's really self-attachment to male, and she's really seeking for male validation and making her going into the toxic relationship one. Family dynamics. Casey family's relationships, particularly her father's abandonment, have deeply affected her self-worth and attachment style. So this is the one that I've been told. Um, this is really affect her adult life in the part of her relationship with man. So in the modern application, the electro complex remains relevant for understanding characters in contemporary media like Euphoria. And the impact of emotional abuse, Casey experience with emotional neglect contribute to her unstable sense of self and her dependence on external validation. The research methodology that I did for this proposal is qualitative. The study used qualitative, interpretive approach to analyze Casey Howard's character in Euphoria through the lens of Ruth's Electra complex. The interpretive analysis, I use Fruit Electra complex to analyze Casey Howard psychological motivation and struggles in Euphoria. The focus is how Casey emotional instability, unhealthy relationships, and mental health relate to her unresolved childhood trauma and absent father. The data I will share you in this slide. The data sources I got from HBO series from Euphoria 2019 till 2022, the transcripts of dialogue, scholarly articles, and psychological studies on fruit theory and media portrayals of mental health, the data collection, repeated viewing of key scenes, detailed notes on visual and textual elements, review of secondary sources. And the last is the data analysis that I did is qualitative thematic analysis of scenes, interpretation through the lens of electro complex, which is Freudian, and triangulation of findings with secondary sources. This approach allows for a deep understanding of Casey's character, linking her experience to psychological theory and societal context. And for the last is conclusion. This thesis explores the complex character of Cassiehoward from the HBO series Euphoria, analyzing her behaviors and relationships through the lens of Sigmund Freud electro complex. And the analysis delves into psychological mechanism behind Casey's action, including her obsessive need for male validation, her self-destructive tendencies, and her difficulty forming health attachment. By applying psychoanalytic theory to the contemporary media portrayal of mental health, this thesis contributes to a deeper understanding of the complexities of human behavior, as well as the need for greater empathy and understanding in how we perceive and respond to the those who's struggling. So, thank you.